All right, this next match review comes to us from Kortisolk. Hopefully I said that correctly. You have 350 hours, so you're relatively fresh to Dead by Daylight. It's kind of weird to say that because, you know, you can learn a language in like 300-something hours. But like, I look at a 300-hour gamer, I'm like, yeah, there's some fundamentals you probably don't know. There's probably some text and perk knowledge you're not aware of yet. You're still emerging at the game. So, keep that in mind. You have also admitted in your match review blurb here that you have taken a long break, so there's a lot that's different about the game that'll probably be working against you as well. You're also on Garden of Joy, which is one of the most survivor-sided maps in the game. Luckily, you are a top 3 character, you are Spirit, so you have a lot of ways to circumvent kind of the BS of Garden of Joy, but Garden of Joy is still really, really, really bad, so, like, good luck. So, all right, so let's go take a look at the add-ons in the perks. Ah! Put that away. All right, so you have Duration and Speed, which are honestly good picks. Recovery, the Rusty Flute, very, very good. Activation, also really, really good. But these are fine add-ons. These are not poor choices. But those are the other two I would run in their place if I would choose to. Hey, Sleepy, how's it going? Your build is pretty alright. You have Lethal Floods, which obviously have synergy. Jolt, all of Spirit's M attacks end in M1, so you could use M1 perks. Iron Grasp is kind of the weird one here. If your idea is like, I want to get them to Floods, or to the Scourge for Floods of Rage, use Agitation, not Iron Grasp. Agi is move speed while carrying somebody, which is way, way, way more effective at getting somebody to a hook than Iron Grasp is. You basically only run Iron Grasp when you're doing like a basement build and you're trying to get them across map. So Iron Grasp is a companion to Agitation, but you should always run Agitation if you're looking for a carry perk. Yeah, I know you were amazed when I said it right the first time. I would just phase at them. Yeah, there you go. So I would just phase at them. Oh, she had no idea you were coming. Use your ears. She's playing with her headphones off. Okay, you get that early jolt, which is nice. Shut that down fairly quickly. Iron Grasp with Pain Res? Yeah, you don't have to run like Agi in complement with a Scourge Hook. It's just kind of a defense against bad RNG. Like today we had a match where I brought Pain Res and we were on Sanctum of Wrath, and that's an I-shaped map, which means it's like there's a tight spot in the middle and there's 2 rectangles that you play on either side. And all 4 of my Scourge Hooks were like on one side. So if we were playing on the opposite side, I just didn't have my power. So it's just for like stuff like that. But you don't have to run a carry perk to get Scourge Hook value. It just kind of like is defense against bad RNG. All right, Liz. Good to see you, friend. Hopefully your Monday's treating you well. Oh, that's unlucky. Yeah, he dropped that early too. It's been almost every match today. It's really been almost every match today. If people like watch my match reviews, they know what like my biggest pet peeve is when it comes to like watching people play killer, but they just do it anyway. And maybe I need to just like stop reacting to it, because like maybe people do it on purpose to agitate me. Maybe that's the secret. Maybe people are trying to hurt my feelings, and that's why they do it. They're trying to get me worked up. They're trying to get me mad. And okay, so I just need to respond calmly and just deny them the reaction. So you panicked? Okay, well, I will do the spiel as I always do. 2.5% of a gen is a dry kick, and that's all it does. And if there's multiple people around, they're just going to immediately tap that and undo it. The only time a dry kick is good is if you're under the impression that nobody's going to be around for a bit. So that's how you only get value. So don't dry kick. Brand's Village and Origin Story? It's about to be. It's about to be. Wow, look, everybody's here. Looping with friends. Looping with friends! He just runs back into you. That's so tragic. Does allow you to jolt that gen, though. Nice. Uh oh. Oh. Almost. Full gen kick build for a match review? Hey, if it's a full gen kick build, it's not a dry kick, right? You get nowhere to hide, pop, eruption stuff out of that. Like, that's value. That makes sense. You hurt her on the bones and you still, like, flew by her. It's funny. Remember, she's not playing sweaty. Against the Amaokas, both Oni and Spirit, you throw early because the consequence of being injured against them is so, like, intense. With Spirit, it's just that her tracking while in phase, you could hit her there. Her tracking while in phase is really, really good. I would not camp him here because of the anti-camp measure that just happened in the game. You said you're new, or not new, but you've been taking a break for a while. There's now an anti-camp measure that if you stand around somebody's hooked too long, they just unhook themselves. So I would not stick around hooked. You should be phasing and trying to down air as quick as possible. I don't know why you're chasing this as a 110. Yeah, you should have phased there. She's injured, so she's super easy to track. You could have had it down there, but you decided to chase her as a 110 killer, which is not smart. Yeah, she left. I don't know why she wasn't at the pallet there. I don't know why she was trying to, like, kind of, like, play between that and the window. Kind of curious. Yeah, you have one of the most oppressive M2s in the game, one of the most oppressive powers in the game. Definitely be using it as much as possible. That's why I recommended Rusty Flute. That way you can just have your power available to you as much as possible. I'm kind of curious how this goes poorly for you. You have 3 hooks and 3 gens, which is interesting. Yeah, you got Floods. This is why Floods Rage is a cool perk. You just got so much value from that. What I would have done there instead of just like walking at her, I would have phased and made her guess which side of the pallet you were on. And she probably, it's a 50-50. She'd have to just make a guess. That's probably how you would have got that. Because just walking at her, she just sees where the red stain is coming from, and you just get to hit her. Or she gets to get to hit you with the pallet. Is that John made for this? Wow. That is Pocos. I would be mad if I got hit by that and I was her. You guys know. I'd be like, gosh, I should have put on resilience. This is bullshit. I'd be cussing. I'd be mad. Honestly, I think a lot of the reason the gens are flying are not because they're like gen rushing you, but just more so that like you seem kind of hesitant to use your power to end chases quickly. Like you kind of like walk at people a lot before you choose to use your power, and you're only 110. Like you were, I know passive phasing will kind of like play in your favor a little bit. I don't know why you didn't just throw that. But like you're kind of walking at people. You're playing your chases as a 110 killer, 110 melee killer no less. So like, I would definitely be trying to use your power more often. I know tracking with Spirit can be kind of awkward and scary sometimes, but like, you only learn by trying. And now you're seeing the downside of Floods of Rage, which is like, unless somebody's being unhooked, you just don't have info. You're just like, huh. Until somebody gets unhooked, I literally have no clue. Why does she vault back into you? Oh, honey. Oh, Claudette. This Claudette's just... I don't think she knows how to handle Spirit. She's just scared. Yeah, she just gets really scared and just freaks out. The matches you've done? This is our 5th game. This is our 5th game. Yeah, we started an hour early tonight because I have a Halloween surprise after the match reviews are done. So I wanted to get the ball rolling on these a little early. A little early. I just realized that person that got mad at me in the YouTube comments for like reacting too much, do they consider the match reviews reacting? I mean, I guess it is just in the purest form of like, I'm not currently playing, but like I'm trying to teach people how to play the game better. I'm like educating. Is that what did they also consider that? Honestly, as mean as it is, you probably should just tunnel Claudette here. You're at 2 gens. You need somebody done by 2 gens. So that's not the case. You need to make that happen as soon as possible. So shoot online. Agree with helpful tips? That's what I thought. But I guess they possibly see it that way too. That match review is just like another form of React, and I'm like, I don't know. Reaction content is inherently bad. The problem was like, so a lot of my commentary. So I used to do commentary videos 7 days a week. That was my thing. And like half of my videos would be like, oh, well, Scott Junn said this, or like Scott Junn said this, or, you know, Pixel Bush said this, and Choi said this. And I would have to explain their video for like 3 or 4 minutes. And so like, you notice now that like my commentary videos are like on the shorter end. They're like 5 to 8 minutes, which is like, you know, you can eat that over dinner. You can eat that while doing, you can watch that while, you know, doing a chore or something. They're, you know, they're much shorter in length, which is much more digestible. But my commentary videos used to be like 10, 15, 20 minutes. Because I would just be explaining a video to you. And I'd be like, well, you can go watch their full video if you want the full context. And then I would essentially be like reacting to it without reacting to it. But it would make my video, it would make my commentary video length super long. When I could just like, you know, in live time, talk about the thing, like watch the thing I'm talking about and talk about it, right? So it's just like, it's just better that way, right? And honestly, I've been looking for a long time to diversify my content somehow. Just like, I don't want to be, because like commentary videos for Dead by Daylight have existed since the dawn of time, right? Like Scott Junn, obviously, probably the most prolific of them, but like talking about the game with B-roll footage is just a format that's been done to death here. And I just feel like, I don't know, I gotta do something else. I gotta enjoy my craft here, right? Like I gotta enjoy what I do. And it just felt super, super stale. Especially in your situation like this with like Sprint Burst, you go into your power and chase her down. That's kind of the main reason you lose this. Is that you're just not using your power enough. Drag kicking again. That's a good guess that she is back there. That's good. That, you know, for only 300 hours, it was good macro awareness that she'd be around somewhere, waiting to greet the gen. So good job on that. Do whatever you enjoy. Yeah, that's not to say like don't just go completely outside my ballpark. Like I'm just gonna start uploading like Fallout content tomorrow or something weird like that, right? But just like do more than just being I talk about the game Andy, right? Or at least diversify how I'm talking about the game. Claudette, we get it. It's exciting. You're very exciting. Please keep it PG. Well, mind your commentary videos be longer? See, it's funny because people always told me that my videos are too long. That's always been a thing I've heard. So I've always tried to like be as brief as I can. Yeah, so I am kind of curious what their builds are. Yeah, there was a proof. Well, there's 2 proofs. Proof hyperfocus. So the gens were going kind of quickly, which is not particularly your fault. But in terms of your main takeaways, first thing is don't be afraid to phase. You have one of the most oppressive powers in the game. You're literally a top 3 character. But you're only a top 3 character if you're actually using your power consistently to end chases quickly. Especially when you have like Jolt as your slowdown, which is like, you know, based on downing people. You want to be getting that as much as possible, like downing people and getting that. So I know it's scary, especially with like spirits tracking, which can be kind of icky and kind of confusing sometimes, but you only get better by trying. There's a lot of chases you chased as a 110 woman with katana that could have been way quicker if you just used your power and faced. So I would challenge you to start using your power more often. Even if it results in more losses up front, it's going to train you to be a better killer down the line, especially with her. I mean, like, you didn't necessarily play too badly. Of course, you dry kicked, and I harp on everybody about that. Dry kicking is, like, you know, not effective. Not great. Don't do it unless you think nobody's going to go tap the gen anytime soon. So obviously don't do that. The other thing that kind of actually cost you this match, you actually probably could have won this if you had actually got your Death Hook gamers out. Yeah, actually got your Death Hook gamers out. You had several people Death Hook, and you did not focus them. You need somebody dead by 2 gens. If you don't have that, you need to make it happen as soon as possible. So you ended up in this like situation at the end of the game where they were all hounding that gen that was next to that exit gate, but some of those people were Death Hook, and obviously if they're dead, they can't be pressuring that gen later. So that came back to haunt you. So if somebody's Death Hook, get them out of the game, especially if it's 2 gens and that hasn't already happened. So yeah, he's trying to jump rope in the cold. That is such an oddly weird way to describe that, but it's also very fitting. So yeah, that's how I would improve.